Some say freedom is achieved by removing the very thing we see as so ingrained in our daily lives, the government. If this approach of removing our government would work, I do not know. But what I do know is that the autonomous region of Chiapas, also known as the Zapatistas, have certainly achieved a little heaven on earth for themselves. This, for me, is most apparent in their excellent coffee. I do not think I've ever tasted something so good as the coffee from the Zapatistas. It's grown organically, and the people that grow them do so in companies organized as cooperatives, where every worker owns an equal share of the enterprise. The brew that you make out of this will certainly be stronger than any other coffee you've ever tasted before, but I can assure you that this strength isn't harsh at all. Rather, it's refreshing and different to the bland-tasting coffees I was used to drinking up until this point. Depending on where you buy this coffee from, or from which distributor you receive it from, as there isn't really a unified brand, they will even include a little donation in every packet of coffee that you decide to buy. The price is hefty, but allows the people to live a good and healthy life that supports not only the workers, but also their autonomous communities. On brewing this coffee, I'd recommend to try it black first. I think you'll be surprised how drinkable it is this way, but alternatively with creamer, milk, or its many plant-based derivatives will make it equally as tasty and enjoyable. So, as you make yourself a lovely warm cup of coffee, I'll do the same, and I'll also tell you a little bit more about the Zapatistas. Perhaps you've seen some funny-looking people in balaclavas, with little pom-poms on top, holding rifles, and perhaps wearing some indigenous attire. Well, those people are the Zapatistas, and their army, the Army for National Liberation. For far too long had they been the people with no faces and were never to be heard. So, wearing a balaclava is a sort of play on that age-long problem, but they also believe in putting the individual on a lesser level of importance and putting the group, the community, first, hence them seeing their faces as so unimportant. Also, there is a closer lying benefit of being anonymous towards any force trying to harm those people. This region that the Zapatistas control was seized on the morning of January the 1st, 1994, the day that the North American Free Trade Agreement, aka NAFTA, went into effect, and also the morning after everyone celebrated New Year's. Thousands of Zapatista fighters and supporters took to the streets with their guns. It's also said that many of those were simply fake guns, made to imitate the look of a real one. Since that day, the struggle of the Zapatistas was an upward struggle, with setbacks and failures. But the Zapatistas and their struggle for liberation of the indigenous people seems to be one that resonates with many people that I talk with. I urge you to read more about these people, their history, and their organizations. And if you're happy with what you read, consider supporting them with something so simple as a cup of coffee. And finally, I'd like to leave you with these words from the Himno Zapatista. Lucha de liberación o morir por la libertad.